Hey everybody, it is White Rose Beauty, aka I am Jalix, and today I'm going to be doing a makeup of a character from The Witcher 3 called Ciri. She's one of my favorite characters, and I know the game came out forever ago, but I just really wanted to do it. So I started off with my Revlon Color Stay Foundation, and I wanted to put on very little because I wanted it to be very sheer, because Ciri is very glowy, and also we have nearly the same skin tone, so I really didn't need to change much. So I kind of liked the way I looked naturally compared to Ciri. I am aware that she has hazel green eyes. I had to keep my blue contacts in, otherwise I would not have been able to do this with my glasses on. So that is why that is that way. So I just blend in my foundation forever. I make sure to blend it as best as I can while also keeping it kind of sheer. And that keeps my face kind of shiny, just like hers is in the picture I used as a reference. Next, I go in with two blushes. I know I only point to one, but I use both the blushes on this E.L.F. Total Face palette. I use these blushes to give more redness to my face in target areas that I desired, because my face is very pale and red, but I wanted to make it look a little bit more like the picture, and she has a lot of redness on her apples of her cheeks, and below her eyes and then along her cheekbone. So it might look a little odd, but it comes together later. It might look kind of splotchy, but I do blend it, and the colors do come together later. So I put them along my cheeks with a tapered Bare Minerals blush brush. Here I am just doing a little bit of irritation where her scar goes. That blush is the same blush. I was just using it as a guideline, put a little bit on my chin for a little extra depth. And then I blend all that blush out. Next, I move on to the eyes with these little sponge applicator things that I have. Came in a brush set, so this is the only one I have, which is why it says color on it. But I took the darkest black in my palette that I used in the last video for my tiger makeup, and I smear it all over my eye. It's okay to be a little bit messy because she's been running from the wild hunt for years, so you know, and rain and sweat and humidity and all that stuff, so her makeup is going to be everywhere on her eyes. And in the picture, the two things that I think define Ciri the most are her eye makeup and her scar on her cheek. These are the two things I've focused on the most here. Then I go in with a fluffier brush and I just kind of blend it out. I did put a little extra black on there to help it blend out while also adding a little bit of color. If you notice, I put a little bit of makeup extra high on my, left eyelid. That was just for fun, make it look uneven, a little more realistic. Then I went in and did my waterline with the same dark eyeshadow, and this changes a lot throughout this tutorial, I will disclaim, but that's because I was really playing around with how can I get the watery, sweat cried off looking eyeliner look that she has in the picture. So yeah, I really had to experiment with that. So I used like 3 different techniques that I just came up with on the spot. But this is just kind of like the base, showing where I wanted my eye makeup to go. And I did lick my finger. I know I didn't get it in my eye. I'm not that gross. But this was just to give it that watery look, because actual water doesn't help it blend. I've tried it, tested it. I felt like it was the only way to emulate a better natural smudge, especially because I don't have any smudge, like really good smudging eyeshadow or eyeliner. I've tried, trust me, I tested everything out before I did this tutorial, but this is the only thing that I found worked. Look at how clean that smudge looks. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? And here, I'm just going in and filling in. I touch up the eyes a lot. I touch up this entire makeup a lot. So here we go on to the brows. This part was fun because I got to be kind of messy with it. And whenever I do my brows, I'm usually very clean cut. But I make my brows look a little bit bigger because I do have kind of thin eyebrows. And Ciri's eyebrows are kind of thick. So I just went to town on them and just made them look really thick and a little bit unruly. But I do brush them out later though to help the color come together and just make them look really filled in. Her eyebrows are also a little bit darker than mine. She doesn't have brown eyebrows, she has kind of black eyebrows. So this is the best I could do with it. With mine, I had a Milani Pot eyebrow cream, which is what I use to fill them in and also shape them a bit. See, I did plan on making them thicker, but that does come later. Like I said, I touched up the entire makeup a lot toward the end of the filming. And I just brush them out here. That helps them look a little bit more like the picture. I was trying to groom them how I saw her eyebrows in the picture. So we move on to the eyes again. This is another little touch-up I did. I tried to use a Q-tip to just get more product on there because the applicators and the brushes I have don't really work very well for picking up product. Like I said, I need a new eyeshadow palette and new tools. I need a lot of new everything. But this does kind of work, and it's good for smudging and just basically putting on messy shadow if you like. Because toothpicks, wow, don't put that near your eye. Q-tips pick up a lot of product and cause a little bit of fallout, so I like the way it did that on my under eye because it helped add to the messy look. Then I just glossed my lips over, and this Almay Lip Gloss smells so good. But Ciri's got very glossy pink lips, so use that, and it was very simple to do. Then I take this tapered, angled e.l.f. brush, and I do that for her scar, and I just dipped in an orangey red eyeshadow that I had. Here I am mapping my face, and there I go. I draw the beginning of the scar. I should have went a little higher, it's just whenever I was filming and I was looking at my reference picture, the scar didn't look that close to her eye, and it started looking that close to her eye after I already did it, so. But we're gonna drink it. We're going to bring it from the top or middle of our cheek to the back towards our ear because it rides the line of her cheek. Then I'm gonna go in and blend it a little bit with a clean brush, just like that. And then I'm gonna go in with the same angled brush, and I put a little red and a little black mixture. That's just to give it a little bit of depth. I know I went off, I'm doing it in a viewfinder, don't be mad at me. Dimension is hard to catch whenever you don't have a mirror. So that was just to give it a little bit of depth. Excuse my roots. Really thought I cut that part out, but guess I didn't. So I go back in again with the blending brush, and I blend it out a little more to make the edges look a little softer and get those colors to look less artificial. And I go in and I kind of clean that scar up at the top. And then one more time to fix a couple mistakes and make the scar look just a little bit deeper. I go in with the same orangey red that I first started with and just kind of go in there and, you know, get it done. So I use my Kat Von D Shade versus Light palette, and I'm going to use the first two shades right there, and those are going to be my contours because I noticed Ciri had a little bit of a gray contour, and this was the closest I could get to it with any contouring products I had. So I only did really the tops of my cheekbones because I tried not to interfere with the scar too much. I went very, very light around the scar whenever I did apply it. And then I do the other side. This is the small tapered brush by E.L.F. And then I went in with a fluffier E.L.F. brush to blend it all in. Next, I moved on to my jawline because Ciri does have a little bit more longer pointed face than I do. I have a short round face, so I tried to elongate it, and then I went in with the same brush, same E.L.F. brush, and blended that out as I did with my cheeks to get those harsh lines out of the way. And then I went in with my Kabuki, is it a Kabuki brush? I don't remember, but it's called the E.L.F. blending brush. So I used that to blend in the rest on my chin. And then I went in with a small E.L.F. brush that is usually used for eyeshadow, but I always use it to contour my nose. And I went in with the same shades from the Kat Von D palette, and I used those to make my nose look a little bit thinner. and tapered as Ciri's does, and then I put a point at the end because I know her nose does curve more than mine toward the end. I have kind of a straight nose. Then I went in with this rigid Collodian by, I don't remember the brand, but I will link it in the description. It was very hard to open, and it smells like nail polish times 3. Like, that's why I was blinking my eyes like that. And then I just put it along the scar, and what this stuff does is that it contracts your skin, like it'll pull it in, and it helps make a realistic looking scar. You can't really see it on the recording right here, but you can see it later on when I do zoom in and give you a more close-up look at the makeup. So I applied about 2 or 3 coats of this to really amplify the effect, and I did kind of go around the scar to kind of make it look a little more pulled in. And see, that is a close-up of the scar. You can see how the tissue looks really weird and sunken in. That is the whole point. I was just making sure it was dry. And I go into the eyes again with a dry finger, and I put on the blackest eyeshadow in the palette again. I find that this one was my favorite. And then I went in with a brown eyeshadow, filled in the rest of my brows, and then here we go with the base color I use for the scar. I'm just putting on little details and scratches that I saw in the picture that I hadn't noticed before, which I'm glad I noticed because it adds a lot more depth to the look, because Ciri is always getting in the fights and running away, so of course she'd have more than one scar. Then I went in and touched up some more blush on my cheeks. And then here I went in with a little more blush, and I noticed that her jowl lines were kind of defined in red, so I just went in there and put a little red along the jowls. And then after that, I blended them out with a firm but small bamboo brush. Then after that was done, I took a blending brush and just went over every area I felt like might have needed a little bit more blending. And then the final step is to move on to the hair. My hair was already white, thank God. I didn't need to buy a wig. So all I did really was take my hair, style it according to the picture I saw, which basically I just got my bangs into one direction. I took 2 little, I call them side bangs, like the long little front-ish side bangs, I guess. That's what I call them. That's what I've always called them because I don't know what else to call them. Took those 2 little side bangs on the side. One is thicker than the other. And then on this side I took 3 little strands of hair that usually hang off the front of her bangs. And then I sectioned this off, and then I had the back. And what I did was took it and put it into a really, really messy bun, kind of like she did. I can't really do exactly how her hair did, but I just took it in a ponytail, and then once I had it wrapped around the first or second time, I just pulled it into like a really lazy kind of half bun with the bottom of the ponytail hanging out, as you can see there. And then I pulled it through a little bit more, and then I fanned it out in the back, made it look really messy. And then I just touched up my bangs a little bit and nitpicked with my hair, and I was done after that. So this is Cirilla, or Ciri from The Witcher 3. It's not the best, I know, but I really did try. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was one of my favorite and easiest looks to do, considering my white hair and very pale skin already. So I really liked it. I am White Rose Beauty, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye!